You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day, or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Coffee with Graeme on AETi Productions. I'm your host, Graeme Forsyth. Coffee with Graeme is presented by Fabricland Winkler, Evolve Green, AETi, and our newest sponsor, Murray Chrysler. Starting off in tonight's episode, it's going to be some high school hockey talk. We're going to have two guests joining tonight's edition of the show. Of course, we are live right now all across our AETi Productions network, on our Facebook at AETi Productions, on our Twitter at Amateur Sports TV, and on our website at aestvproductions.com. Special thanks to everyone that's taken the time out of their Thursday night and tuning into this edition of the show. So yeah, let's get into who this first guest is. He's joined me for the second time ever here on Coffee with Graeme. He joined me back last year in the summer on Championship Rewind. He joins me again to talk about the Mountain Mustangs. It's their head coach. It's Chad Foster. Chad is going to talk about just what it's been like since the championship game that his team has played and what's been happening since then, as well as what the roster is looking like for the defending champions of the Zone 4 High School Hockey League going into this season. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming in the first guest in tonight's edition of Coffee with Graeme, Chad Foster, head coach of the Mountain Mustangs, here on Coffee with Graeme on AETi Productions. And there he is, Chad Foster, head coach of the Mountain Mustangs in the Zone 4 High School Hockey League, the defending champions coming into this season. Joining me first here on this Thursday night edition, this live edition of Coffee with Graeme. Chad, it's been a while. How have things been for you since the last time that we've talked back in 2020?
Well, overall good. Yeah, it has been a while. We I guess all been in this whole pandemic mode here for a bit. So, yeah, like I say, as good as we can expect, I guess, on our end anyway.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it will be exciting to see some hockey back here for you guys this season. Of course, you going into your second season as a head coach of this team. Of course, it was your first season coaching at the high school hockey level for this team back in 2019, 2020. Just looking back at that championship in 2019-2020, we talked about it last time I had you on the show. Just looking back at it, how surreal was that experience of just looking back at the team hoisting that championship?
Well, it's almost hard to remember how surreal it was, but it was kind of a crazy time, pretty exciting. Like I say, to be in my first year coaching in high school and to win the championship was pretty major. So pretty proud of that. And still talk to a bunch of the guys all the time, and everybody's still pretty pumped about that. So we're still defending champions. So that's something to be proud of, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And going to be interesting to see if this team can go out and defend their championship this season, of course. But just looking back, a lot has changed since then. It's going to be a lot of different players on this roster compared to that championship roster. Just speak about the talent that this team is going to have on this year's Mountain Mustangs squad.
Well, it's like any other year. It's going to be different for sure. And like you say, losing that year, the grade 11s from our championship run, none of them had the opportunity to play last year, right? So they would have been the veterans on the team. So now our grade 10s from that year are coming in. Hopefully they can step up and be the leaders that we need them to be. We are going to have a pretty young team this year. We're only going to have maybe 6 returning players. The rest will all be new to the high school game, so it'll be a pretty steep learning curve, I think. But I'm hoping the talent that we have on paper will translate to the ice for sure.
Just for you, you had that luxury of having such an experienced roster back when this team ended up winning the league championship in 2019-2020. Is there a different approach for you and the coaching staff this year heading in, knowing that you guys are going to have such a younger roster compared to that championship season?
Well, there always is. Yeah, strategies are going to have to be different for sure. Like I said, when you only have a few returning players, a lot of rookies, a lot of young faces coming in, definitely we're going to have to change the way we do things. But we'll adapt, and I'm sure the kids will adapt also, and we'll make it all work out.
Yeah, and just looking back at that championship team, just dominant in all facets of the game. A lot of goals scored, good goaltending out there as well, really good defense, and a team that could not only score on the power play, but shorthanded as well. As you guys had the most shorthanded goals in the league that season. Just looking at those factors, the goals for, the goals against, the goaltending, just the overall team that you guys had, what would you say are going to be, with this team this year, the strengths that you guys are going to have out there against teams in the league?
Well, I think we'll still have the offensive side. I really think we're still going to be able to score some goals. So in that sense, I think things will be easy enough. It'll be obviously the defensive side of the game is always the hardest part of any team, no matter how talented you are up front, right? So I really think hopefully our offensive guys can translate into some extra defensive side of things and really generate, like I say, a better defensive game all around.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Of course, that old saying goes, and I think it still holds up to this day, defense wins championships, right?
Yeah,
And
no doubt.
obviously, great when you have the offense, but defense for sure stays that number one factor in what a championship team is going to result in being, right? But just looking at you, just the year you've had to reflect personally, just since everything, shut down, of course, hockey not being played here in the Zone 4 high school hockey league at all in the 2020-2021 season. Just how have you spent this last year and over a half just reflecting on things that you did well and things that you could improve on as a coach heading into this season?
Well, like you say, having more time, I guess, more time to think about things, you really do reflect on what you could have done better, could have improved on, or things that you're proud that you did the right way. So I think, like I say, just having that extra time, just to look back on how things worked and how we did things as a team and as a coaching staff. Yeah, it really did help out a lot. Hoping that we can, like I say, translate that into a exciting season this year and get our guys learning from what we made as mistakes, I guess you could call them.
Yeah, no doubt. Always great that when a coach is able to, take some time and reflect on things that you could do better. And it's awesome that you've been able to have a chance to do that throughout this past year and however long it's been since we've seen hockey last. Can't even think of the correct number off the top of my head. But talking about the coaching staff this year, of course, you returning as the head coach, but is there any changes in the coaching staff heading into this year for the Mountain Mustangs overall?
There will be a few changes. Yeah, right now we have myself and Braden Bernertz, who is one of my assistants on that championship run. He's back again, and currently we are in discussions with one more assistant. So yeah, we're hoping he'll come on board, and then but yeah, like I say, so myself and Braden will be there. So that will be partially the same at least anyway, and like I say, hopefully we can get a third guy on here, and we should be good to go.
Let's go more into depth about those returning players that you guys do have. Of course, them being grade 10s in the championship season. Of course, they didn't have a year to develop further in their game last season due to the season not happening due to COVID-19. What do you feel is going to be the expectation for them in a way? You've spoken about it already, but just with them not having that extra year to develop in grade 11, if they were able to have that.
Well, as I said before, the expectation is for those guys to be our leaders now, right? So, um, they went through the season as grade 10s. They were pretty wide eyed to start the season that year. As the year went on, you could tell they really got more comfortable, not only on the ice, but in the dressing room and just with the guys in general, right? So, um, I think most of our guys that were there in that grade 10 run, uh, they had definitely learned from our vets and our grade 11s and 12s that year. So I'm really hoping it's going to translate, like I say, on the ice and also in the dressing room and the bus trips and everything else. So those are the guys that the young guys are going to be looking up to, right? So they hopefully will, hopefully it'll translate anyway.
Yeah, should be interesting to see for sure. And always when those vets are able to step up and be the leaders out there, if everyone can follow that, just it makes it easy on everybody, including the coaching staff. I feel
Yeah.
like you could agree with that for sure. But yeah, how long has the team been together so far this year? Of course, the school year started recently, not even a month has passed yet. Just speak about what the schedule and what the team has been doing so far to prepare for the season coming up.
Well, we actually haven't even had or held our tryouts yet, so we're just in the the beginning stages of everything, I guess. So, um, also we have three different schools in our co-op. We have Miami, Prairie Mountain in Somerset, and Notre Dame High School. So we most of the kids already know each other and are already kind of doing a few things together. But for the most part, the three schools are separate. And like I said, we haven't had tryouts. Our tryouts start October 1st, actually, or 1st or 2nd. So from there, we'll have to ramp things up, I guess. But yeah, like I say, right now we haven't gotten anything done. So just kids are trying to hype each other up. That's all we've been seeing so far.
Yeah, well, lots of hype for sure. I'm assuming around the school for just when these tryouts will happen in October. Should be exciting to see what type of talent you guys got coming out. What type of talent do you feel could be expected to be out there this in these tryouts in terms of the numbers that are going to be at tryouts?
Well, like I say, the what I'm seeing so far on paper is in the offensive side. We've got some offensive talent coming into this team. So, like I say, it'll be the defensive side. I think we're going to have to maybe do a bit of work on, but we'll get there. But definitely the offensive side, I think we should be all right.
Yeah. What about in terms of goaltending for you guys this season?
Well, right now we've got four goalies signed up for tryouts, so we'll have to see where that how that all washes out in the end. But I think we'll be okay if like I say, if what's on paper translates onto the ice, I think we'll be fine. So, but like I say, it'll depend who steps up at camp too, right?
Once the tryouts get going and the team gets finalized, is there by any chance at this point a schedule that you guys got in terms of preseason games to get ready for the season, or is it just jumping into regular season right away?
No, we are going to be having actually as part of our tryouts, we do have one preseason game be against Carmen on the 8th of October, and then we're actually attending the Morris Mavericks are putting on a preseason tournament before the league starts, and we're going to be attending that tournament as we're hoping to have most of our cuts done by then. That might be our final round of cuts after that tournament, or sort of a thing. So, but yeah, definitely that'll be our preseason tournament and one game against the Carmen Cougars, and then we'll just roll right into our league play.
Of course, you guys have had this program has had many battles with the Morris Mavericks. Just in terms of the teams that you guys could see, being there to, potentially give you guys a run for your money and defending the title. Obviously, a lot has changed in terms of what talent is going to be in the league since 2019, 2020. But what do you feel is going to be the expectation in terms of teams that are going to challenge you guys this season into knocking you guys off the throne?
Well, that's going to be it's kind of a hard question to answer because we really don't know what's out there, right? Um, and just being with the whole COVID thing and no hockey being played last year, it's really hard to say what's coming up. Um, Morris is always, no matter what, they're always strong. That's just been a really good program they have going over there. So they're always in it. Portage could be tough this year too. Their 18U program isn't running this year, so some of those guys might be playing high school hockey instead. So, and like I say, you can never discount any team in this league. Your Carmen, Morden, any of the Winkler teams, Altona. Everybody's usually going to have good years and bad years, but for the most part, it'll be a pretty competitive league, I think, this year.
Of course, with a team coming in as defending champions, the goal is to go out and defend that championship. It has to be one of those goals that are among one of the top goals for the team to achieve. I'm assuming for you guys as well. But, other than that, what would you say besides winning the championship again is going to be the goal for this year's Mountain Mustangs team?
I think a goal of mine any year is just to improve as the season goes on. Winning the championship, winning the league, provincials, that sort of thing is really important and really nice to do. But I think just like I say, improving all year long, just as a team and as individuals and as people too, right? Not just on the ice, but off the ice as well. So I think just like I say, if we can see a consistent improvement all year long, I'll be really happy with that.
Well, tryouts for you guys starting up in October. Of course, the season coming up really fast here, even though it's not going to start in September. But October always seems to roll along pretty quickly. So best of luck to you and your team this season, Chad. I'm sure we'll be talking as the season progresses for the league. And yeah, best of luck for you guys in terms of the players that you guys are going to be able to have a chance to go out and potentially select to be on this year's Mountain Mustangs team. Can't wait to see it this year, Chad. Thanks for taking the time and joining Coffee with Graeme tonight. It was a lot of fun.
No problem. Thank you.
Chad Foster, head coach of the Mountain Mustangs in the Zone 4 High School Hockey League, joining this edition of Coffee with Graeme. First off, on this Thursday evening, I'm going to throw it to a commercial break. I'm going to be back with a player from Pilot Mound Hockey Academy, a male U17 prep defenseman in his second year in the program, Maddox Derewianka, coming up here. After the break, you're watching Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Stick around for more after this commercial break.
Why go solar? Solar is better than ever. Our revolutionary design and inverter equipment with the latest in solar panel technology for the ultimate in-home and business security. That's right, I said security. Grid security and security of your home are linked. Fortify your future today with a battery backup system. No maintenance, quiet running. Did you know in Manitoba, grid-connected, off-grid, and battery backup systems are 100% right off in the year you purchase for any company or farm? Do you want to back up your internet, keep your tills running, and the lights on? We can install a system that is right for you with battery backup fully capable of taking on all those essential loads and keeping you running. When you call our experts at Evolve Green, ask about getting your free energy audit today. Call or email today to find out what system works best for you. 1-866-5EVOLVE or support@evolvegreen.ca. Also, be sure to check out our website at www.evolvegreen.ca.
Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Chad Foster, head coach of the defending champions in the Zone 4 High School Hockey League of the Mountain Mustangs. Chad Foster joined me first off in tonight's edition of the show just to reflect a bit on, the championship season that his team had. We didn't dive into that too much, but mostly talking to him about just the season going into this year. That team hasn't even had their tryouts yet, so a lot to be determined still of who is going to be on that roster this season. But let's transition into this next guest. It's a guy that plays for Pilot Mound Hockey Academy. He's joined me in the broadcast booth to broadcast some of their games this season. Now he joins me on Coffee with Graeme. It's Maddox Derewianka with a black screen. I can't seem to see him right now. Maddox, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but unfortunately your screen is black right now. Kind of odd. I've never seen this problem before. Try rejoining the link that I sent you, and we'll get you back in here in just a moment.
Sounds good.
Well, that's one way to start off an interview, right? With a black screen. I could hear the guest, but couldn't see him. Would like to see his face. But yeah, we'll wait on Maddox to join here. Of course, ASTV will be in Pilot Mound, Manitoba at Blackjack Stewart Arena this upcoming weekend on Saturday at 11 a.m. to broadcast the U17s game, the team that Maddox plays for, against the Rink Hockey Academy U16 team. We got Maddox back here now. I can see Maddox. Maddox, you can see me, I'm assuming. Welcome to the show, man. It's great to have you on. Happy we can finally have a chance to do this. I'm sure that you've had a hard, busy, long day at the academy with just all the stuff that they put you guys through there. But how's things going for you on this Thursday?
Well, first off, thanks for having me again, Graeme. It's always a good time talking to you, whether it's up in the booth during one of the games or if it's just a normal conversation. It's been good, though. We had a good day. We had a great practice, nice workout after that, and got all my schoolwork done and just kind of chilling right now. We got our first games this weekend, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, just mentally preparing for that. Just kind of with the whole team, we're all pretty excited for it. So no, everything's going good.
Yeah, I bet. Always a great time of the year when you get to play that first game, especially with just what hockey players have been going through with not being able to play hockey for a very long time, just with what this pandemic has put athletes through, not just in hockey. But I just got to ask you, you've had a chance to come up with me and do some games this year for Pilot Mound. How's the experience been for you in the booth so far this year?
Being in the booth is awesome. You see the game from a totally different perspective, and it's a pretty amazing thing. You know what? Like back in school a couple of years ago, I used to take TV classes, broadcasting stuff, but no, actually being able to like do some broadcasting over some hockey, it's pretty fun to do, and it's something you don't get to do every day, so I really like doing it.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun and happy. Like I've said before on the broadcast, and to you behind the scenes, always nice to give someone an opportunity that's interested in doing something like that. And it's great that you've enjoyed your time doing that with ASTV this year. And maybe down the line this year, if there's no color guy and I'm the only commentator there, we can have you on again as a color commentator. But let's move away from that. Let's talk about you. And I want to just give people an idea about what type of personality Maddox Derewianka has, not only on the ice, but off the ice.
So first things first, my name is Maddox Derewianka. I'm a defenseman from Sherwood Park, Alberta, who plays for Pilot Mound U17 prep. Defense, like I said, personality wise, I'm a great team player. I always like to look out for the guys. Like to make sure that I'm a pretty likable guy. It's all business when it comes to rink, but you know what? I still like to have fun out there. Hockey's all about having fun, and I just enjoy the game, and I enjoy making friends out there. And hockey's pretty special to me, so I like to base a lot of my game around my character. I like being a good person, and off the ice, same thing. I'm a responsible, accountable guy. You can trust me to do things, and I like being the best person I can be. Hockey's taught that. My parents have taught me that, and just living in general. I like being a good person, and it helps get you places. And always good to have more people in your corner. And hockey helps you do that, especially when you're with teammates. Having a good team. I like making sure that we have good team chemistry and such.
Yeah, key part to any team is having a player like you, Maddox, a player that is kind of the glue in the room there to keeping this team together, keeping everyone on that positive mindset and not thinking about anything negative, right, which is great. I've seen you always wearing a hockey hat. Where every time I've seen you, you've been wearing a hat. Not tonight, which is a bit of a different look for you. I haven't seen you without a hat so far when I've seen you, but you were wearing a Carolina Hurricanes hat, if I do remember. I know that you said that that's one of the teams you like to cheer for, but what would you say is your favorite NHL team?
My favorite NHL team's got to be the Montreal Canadiens. A lot of that comes from my dad. He was always a big Habs fan growing up. His favorite player was Guy Lafleur. Just Montreal's always held a special place in my heart. One of the first things that I ever wore in my life was a Montreal Canadiens jersey. And that just kind of brings up a lot of the reason why I like hockey. I grew up liking Carey Price, and he's still my idol to this day. I may be a defenseman, he may be a goalie, but Carey Price is a Montreal Canadian, and that's one of the driving reasons why I played hockey. And it's always fun to cheer on them with my dad. The past playoff season was definitely a very special time. It was lots of fun.
Yeah, it was a special time for them, beating the Toronto Maple Leafs in that first round after being down 3-1, sweeping my Winnipeg Jets, which is something we won't talk about, beating the Vegas Golden Knights, making it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. Just an amazing run that I don't think many people saw coming in. It was great to see Price have the type of impact he did out there with just the way he was able to carry that team at some points. But, obviously Carey Price being that favorite player of yours in the NHL. Who in the NHL, in your opinion, would you say that you maybe model your game after in terms, would it be a defenseman or forward? I know that you say you're a good two-way defenseman. Would you say it's more of a defenseman that you model your game after?
Yeah, you know what? Like, I kind of model my game after two players. I take elements from Marc-Edouard Vlasic from the San Jose Sharks. He's great defensively, has good gap, knows what to do in his own end there, and he's good. He could keep the puck out of the net, and he's able to make great plays. And the other player I like to model after is Montreal Canadian, Shea Weber. Shea's a big guy. He has a big shot. He's a smart player out there. He's a veteran. He's a good leader, and I like to think that I'm a pretty good leader out there. So, just kind of modeling after those two guys, it kind of gives me elements from both sides of the ice. And they're two players that I like to watch a lot and learn from.
Yeah, that's great. Obviously, two players that are great players to model your game after, of course, with Edward Vlasic being that shut down defensive defenseman for his in his career, and then looking at Shea Weber with not only his ability as a defenseman, but that big booming shot that he has is obviously two guys that are two terrific guys to model your game after, of course. Talking about before joining Pilot Mound, you're from, of course, Sherwood Park, Alberta. You had a chance to play in the NAHL for the U15 AA Strathcona Warriors for 2 seasons prior before joining the Academy, playing with the U17 prep program. Just speak about your time there. Just the things you went through as a player in terms of just the years of development there.
The years leading up to Pilot Mound, I've always played in Strathcona. It's been my home organization before I pursued my hockey career out here in Manitoba. Started playing hockey at a very young age, wore my first pair of skates at 3, and was there since the beginning of organized hockey. And, just a lot of work, a lot of time dedication, a lot of time spent at the rink. Playing in Strathcona, it's obviously a big part of my career, and it always will be. It holds a place in my heart. Being able, when I go back home, to go visit the old home rink and stuff, it's pretty nice. And just took lots of time, lots of hard work. Wasn't easy at all, but I learned a lot there, and I had some great coaches. I've had some good teams, some good success out there. So it's definitely the stepping stone that I needed to come here, was to develop out in Strathcona. But I'm very thankful for my time out there, and to kind of look back from there versus now, it was definitely a vital part in my career.
Yeah, and from 2018 to 2019, 2020, the 2018-19 season to the 2019-2020 season, you ended up boosting your point production, adding 6 goals and 3 assists rather than having 0 goals and 3 assists back in 2018-19. 2019-2020, you had 6 goals, 3 assists. Just speak about how you were able to start getting on the board in terms of helping your team out by scoring goals, adding more offense in that 2019-2020 season.
I'm a player who values the off season a lot, and in season training. Both kind of go hand in hand, and they work together in a sense. I work a lot trying to up my offensive game, and I like to model myself after Shea Weber with a big shot. So I think that's definitely contributed to it a lot too. And as you start playing hockey at higher levels, you start to get more confident out there, and you're willing to take more risk. As a defenseman, sometimes you got to rush the puck, and that leads to good scoring opportunities. And you just keep increasing the points, and it's fun to get more goals and assists. And it's just a lot of work behind the scenes, definitely just training and making sure that I can keep increasing that point total each season as I go on.
Well, we're going to continue talking about your hockey career here in just a moment. Transitioning into your time with Pilot Mound so far, I've been joined by defenseman on Pilot Mound Hockey Academy's male U17 prep program, number 16, Maddox Derewianka, on this edition of the show. I'll be right back with Maddox after this commercial break. You're watching Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. We'll be back for more with Maddox after this. Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme here on ASTV Productions. Of course, I've been joined by Pilot Mound Hockey Academy male U17 prep second-year defenseman number 16 Maddox Derewianka on this edition of the show. Of course, you guys just saw that commercial that just played. We'll be broadcasting all of their home games this season, not just the U17s, but the U15 male program as well as the U18 female program. Of course, Maddox and his team taking on the Rink Hockey Academy at Pilot Mound in Black Jack Stewart Arena coming up this weekend at 11 a.m. on Saturday. They'll be playing at the Rink's home rink on Sunday, but ASTV, I'll be there along with ASTV to cover that game on Saturday. Should be a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll get into that in just a bit. Welcome back to the show. I've been talking to Maddox Derewianka, second-year defenseman for Pilot Mound Hockey Academy's U17 male prep program, just about, his personality, his favorite NHL team, who he models his game after in the NHL. Talked about his time with the Strathcona Warriors U15 AA team before joining Pilot Mound. Now we're going to talk about just that decision you had of choosing Pilot Mound Hockey Academy as that next place. Just a small town here in the province of Manitoba. What led you to finding Pilot Mound Hockey Academy and choosing that as that next place for you to play hockey?
When I first heard about Pilot Mound, I was reached out to by the staff here, and just looking at the academy, I knew it was the right fit for me. They had a good model of education and hockey being a balance, and the staff are amazing here. I've learned so much from them, and I knew that I'd develop my career not only as a person but as a hockey player as well out here in Pilot Mound. It's a nice little town in southern Manitoba, and it's beautiful here, and I've enjoyed my time lots. And just kind of going towards it, I'm like, what, this is probably going to be the best step in my career. It's going to help me mature as a person as well. So and it's been nothing but the best here. I'm very blessed and thankful that I've gotten the opportunity to be at Pilot Mound, and I'm happy and I'm excited for the rest of the season to start.
Yeah, I bet, especially since last year you only got to play a total of 7 games out there with the team, which is something that you probably didn't have intentions on going into the season, but then we got the whole COVID-19 pandemic shutting things down, and, hopefully you guys are able to have a full season this year and we see no hiccups in the plan. But talking about it, moving a long ways away from home, from Sherwood Park, Alberta to Pilot Mound, Manitoba, what was the support like from your parents throughout the transition and just the decision that you made to wanting to come to the Pilot Mound Hockey Academy?
I have the two most amazing, most supporting parents in the world. They've helped me every step along in my hockey career, and I wouldn't be here without them. My dad's a hockey player. He's taught me lots, and that has basically kind of molded me into the player and person I kind of am. Both of them care lots for me, and even though they were both upset that I was leaving home, they're like, what? If you're going out there to chase your dreams, if you're going to work hard every single day and be the hardest working player on the ice, then they're okay with it. They always call me. I call my parents every night, let them know how my day goes, and it's almost like I'm at home. Pilot Mound, being here, it makes you feel like you're at your own second home, and it's everyone here is a family, so feels great. But to have the support from my parents is just absolutely surreal. They hold the most special place in my heart, and knowing that they're watching my games from back home and sometimes even being able to watch them in person, hopefully sometime, is something that I'm really looking forward to. So having them it's truly amazing, and I'm so thankful for them.
Yeah, I bet. Would be awesome to get your mom and dad out at one of those games for them to watch you in person. But great that they're able to, watch the games that you guys have on places like, of course, the STV Productions, Pilot Mound, using our streams on their website, which is nice. Great for the parents like yours that can't be there to still get to watch their kids, grow and develop in hockey at this point in your lifetime for sure. I'm pretty sure I've asked you this before. I'm gonna ask you again, just for our viewers to hear it here. Just the cool experience that you've had of meeting kids from many different places coming here and playing on this team in Pilot Mound, playing with those kids.
Pilot Mound, it has a lot of kids from many different countries and different nationalities, and it's pretty cool learning about where these people are from, kind of how different it is out there. Of course, we all share the one common thing, and that's hockey. We could speak a different language, but you know what? We both play hockey, and that's something that really kind of brings everyone together. We have a couple of Americans on our team and a couple other players from other places, and it's pretty special learning about where they're from. It's not every day you get to meet these kinds of people, and I've made good friends with all of them, and it's tons of fun. I'm so happy I've got to meet them. Some of them have become my closest friends out here, and it's pretty special being able to work with people from a bunch of different backgrounds.
Going back into the short amount of time you had to play your, I guess, rookie season, even though it wasn't a full rookie season last season, in 2020, 2021, more so 2020. Just looking back at that, what was it like for you stepping on the ice for the first time in a Buffaloes jersey, just going up against the competition that you guys faced out there in those games?
Last year was definitely a big change. Stepping out there with a Pilot Mound Buffaloes jersey on, it's a very special feeling. Something only certain few people who come here get to experience, and it's pretty amazing. The competition, it was hard and fierce out there. Hard game, and it's pretty quick. Everyone in this U17 prep league is good. Everyone's there for a reason. So being able to put on the Buffaloes jersey and work hard every night for my team it's just special and very appreciative of it. And I'm looking forward to seeing that competition again this year after a big shutdown. My rookie season, of course, a lot had to be worked on, and I worked on that stuff over the summer. So I'm excited to see all my hard work put to the test here.
What was it like after the season ended? Of course, with the remainder of the season being canceled, did you have a chance to go on ice much? I'm assuming you were training pretty consistently throughout that time. Just knowing the type of personality that you got, right? I always wanted to put in that and training, not only on the ice but off the ice. But what was the training for you like after the season shut down?
Well, of course, we talked about how the summer went and all that training, but right after we got shut down, I didn't let that stop me. I found ways to work out, even with the gym and the rink being closed off to everyone. I still figured out ways to kind of train. I'd always go for runs. I do a lot of body weight exercises, keep working my core up, doing balance exercises, basically trying to do whatever I can away from the rink and the gym, just to stay in good tip-top shape, keep my brain sharp too. A lot of mental sports training too. I have a sports psychologist back home who I learned lots from, and he's been able to keep me determined throughout this whole process. And it's just one small obstacle that I had to get through, and I'm pretty happy I was able to get past it and wasn't able to drag me down. There were resources out here that became available eventually that really helped us. We got some weights and some like tires for flips and stuff and other machinery. But just basically a lot of working by myself, just making sure that I stay ahead of the game is basically what I did right after that shutdown.
Going into that sports psychology part of things, just you talked about just how huge it was just a few moments ago. Just how much of an impact do you feel truly that sports psychologists, from your experience, can have an effect on hockey players? Because I feel like it's an interesting part of the game, and I think that it could be beneficial, like it's benefited you.
When I first got a sports psychologist, I heard that it was just something that most hockey players did, and just to kind of help them out. So I'm like, you know what, this could be interesting. But once I started going to it often and did it consistently, then you know what? I realized just how important it is. Hockey is 50-75% of the entire game. Everything's in your head. If you think one thing and something else may happen, and just going there, it's very important. And encourage, if you're able to go to it, then I think you should take the opportunity, because it'll change your game. It'll help you slow it down, focus, and work on the important things. In a high stress situation on the ice, you'll be able to be the most calm person out there, and that could be a game changer. And you want to be a player who's a difference maker. Coaches will love that. And it'll just keep you ahead of everyone else, and it'll just keep you that one step ahead, and it works good too. If you're a good team player, I think I'm a pretty good team player. So, having that sports psychologist, I've learned a lot of ways to not only help myself, but to help keep the team focused and to keep everyone in a well-rounded mindset. Heading into a close game, third period, couple minutes left, sports psychology's helped me out there, and basically being able to help us flip the game around.
Yeah, and if your team can rely on you to be that difference maker out there, it's going to, give yourself more opportunities, which will be great for your development, which is just fantastic. Moving into this year, of course, we've spoken about the off season you've had before on the broadcast during the Pilot Mound games, but just break down what you've been doing for our viewers during this off season in the summer to get yourself ready and set for this season.
I train lots every single day on the ice, usually once, sometimes even twice a day. I work lots with a friend of ours, Francois Boucher, and his son Jacob Boucher, who's out playing for the Edmonton Oil Kings in the WHL right now. Going there, just working out. They know how to whip me up into shape. They know the right things to work on, and I've worked a lot. I've increased my foot speed, my shot power, my hands. Seeing the game better, keeping my head up. I've done a lot of that stuff, and like I said earlier, when I was talking about the player that I kind of resemble, I was working on my offensive ability a lot. Just kind of finding the right place, going step by step. Having access to the ice out in Edmonton with Sherwood Park kind of being booked up at quite a bit of the time. Just being able to go out there every day or so it's pretty lucky for me, and I'm pretty thankful for it. And it's just lots of working out, and no easy days. That's the one thing. And another big part of my summer was no excuses. You know what? It may hurt, but the result was worth it. I feel like I'm 10 times the player, and that's something I'm really excited for. And I think my off-season training is really going to help me out leading up into this year.
Yeah, for sure. That's amazing that you've had a chance. I'm remembering that now, that you're having a chance to work with those players that are playing at a high level like that, just getting to learn from them, which is great. And I did just notice something in your background. You got one of those new Dallas Stars jerseys. How'd you get your hands on one of those?
I was just driving with my brother out in town one day, just kind of hanging out, it was about a week or two before I left. I wanted to spend some time with him. So we went to the mall and we found a sports closet store, right? So We're walking in, and it was my dad's birthday soon at the time. His birthday was September 2nd. So looking for a gift for him. And, I was looking for that Dallas alternate jersey ever since they all came out. And, I saw it there, and I'm like, you know what, that'd be pretty special to get. So kind of talked to them there, and it took a bit of ordering from other stores, a bit of transporting, but it finally came in a few days after. Got my dad his gift and got that jersey. So Dallas is one of those teams where I like watching them too, and the jerseys are even sweeter. It's a pretty clean color, and I really like when they play with those jerseys. It's pretty cool to see out there.
Yeah, it's very, I guess is a cliche, but I think it's only right to use it in this sense. A unique jersey. Really haven't seen anything like it in the NHL. It's just how that bright green pops. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of it, but I'm like I don't think it's the nicest jersey, but I don't think it's too bad. It's different, which I think is cool about it. Great you were able to get your hands on one of those. Of course, it's in your background. And happy belated birthday to your father, Mr. Derewianka. Hope he had a good one. I'm sure he did. But, you know, looking at you heading into this season, you've been focusing, like you've said, a lot on the offensive part of your game and foot speed. Would you say that those are probably going to be the biggest improvements in your game this season would be your offensive ability on the puck?
I'd say so. That and, like you said, my foot speed, everyone can always improve on how fast they get out there. And especially being a defenseman, that's so important. A lot of hard work was put into that. And I'll admit it wasn't fun. Working on foot speed is something difficult, and you got to do it right if you want to train effectively and get to that next level. But no, I worked hard on that and my offensive ability. You know what? I like to surround myself with a lot of great players who know what they're doing, and you pick up a lot of stuff from those guys. Being very coachable. I kind of think I'm a pretty coachable guy, and that's probably how I learned a lot on the offensive end. Just seeing the game better, slow it down. Seeing those open guys for passes or shots. It really changed my game a lot, and I think it's going to benefit me really well this season.
Of course, we've spoken about the offensive side of your game and just you improving your foot speed. What about just in your time last season in the defensive zone? You, as a defenseman in the defensive zone last season, facing off against the competition you guys played against, how do you feel like that could be improving this year?
Of course, I always worked on my defense too. Naturally, I think I've gotten a good, really good defensive IQ out there. Being a defender, I've worked on it lots too. Playing against these higher level guys in the off season, you learn different tips and tricks, kind of about how to defend better. And I improved that lots this year. And you know what, U17 prep, it's no joke. The players are all good. They'll find ways to try to get around you, and you kind of got to adapt to that. And I think I've done a good job this offseason to be able to get to that level where I think I could shut down guys every night.
Yeah, and definitely that foot speed that you've been working on and improving is going to help you in terms of just keeping up with those forwards that are coming down on the ice on you. So that should be interesting to see, especially in this first game coming up on Saturday. But in terms of the team this season, of course, you guys have lost some key players from last year's roster. There's going to be some new faces this season. You're going to be one of those guys that is going to be looked at as a leader on this team, I feel. How excited are you to step into that role of having more responsibility and being that voice in the room, or one of those voices in the room?
That's a big role. It's a big responsibility, no doubt, Graeme. You know what? It's pretty important to me. I am very excited for it. I've been able to meet all these guys, get to know them. They're all a great group of guys, and I'm ready to work hard for each and every one of them. We don't give up on each other out here, and being able to be one of those leaders that people kind of look up to is something really special. And I care for every one of these guys, and it's pretty special to me. And you know what, it's gonna be a fun year being able to lead these guys, and just hopefully we can keep up the good attitude. Heading in these games, we could get a good start off, and just being able to be a leader is something that I've always dreamed of. So to be able to be in that position right now, it's a pretty cool feeling.
Of course, you've had a chance to be around this team with you playing on this team. You've had a chance to see the strengths, the weaknesses on this team so far during practices. Going to be more of a true showing, I guess, in these first few games of where this team is at. But as you guys get into the swing of things and as the season progresses, what would you say is going to be the expectation for this year's U17 male prep program at Pilot Mound Hockey Academy?
I expect out of everyone, including myself, that we all as a team get better as as the year goes on. First couple games, I'm kind of expecting it might be a little shaky. Hopefully not. I think that's with every team. Getting to start off. Hopefully we get a good start. I think this team's well rounded. We have everyone out here is a good player, and I think we'll have a good start, and that's kind of my expectation is that we'll start off strong and we'll start off on the positive note. Everyone's excited for this weekend. Some guys are more excited. Some guys are a bit nervous, but we're trying to bring everyone up out here. And the more that we do that and make sure everyone's focusing on the same thing, everything that's at hand here, I think we'll just keep getting better and better as we go on. And that's the expectation. We got great coaches out here who are helping everyone develop, and everyone's enjoying that. Practice, it's always fun to go to, and we learn so much every single day. And I just think that with being on the ice all the time, being on the road and playing games, I think the sky's the limit. It looks pretty bright out there.
Well, you guys will get your first test of not the regular season, but of the exhibition this weekend coming up. The first of 2 games against the Rink Hockey Academy's U16s on Saturday at 11 a.m. What do you feel could be the expectation for what we're going to see from this Rink Hockey Academy team come Saturday?
Rink's always been a very good program. They've had a lot of successful players come out there, and you know what? They aren't to be taken lightly on Saturday and Sunday. I expect that they're going to be a good team. All their players are going to be quick out there, and we're going to have to definitely be ready for that. This may not be the U18 team. This is obviously you said whatnot, but it's going to be a good, tough match out there, and we're going to have to really work hard. They're a good squad of guys. I've heard a little bit about them, and, it's going to be a fun matchup. It's going to be fun to play some competitive hockey against a game that I believe was probably going to be close. I don't think score is going to be too high or anything. It's just going to be a good, tough match where everyone's going to have to work hard. Everyone's going to be feeling pretty tired near the end of.
And of course, you guys are going to have some fans out in the game. I've seen, from broadcasting games, some pretty good turnouts already. How exciting is that going to be to play in front of real life fans this season?
Fans are one of the biggest part of hockey. They bring so much energy and momentum to the rink, and being able to step on the ice there with people cheering for your team, cheering for your name out there, and just being excited to be back in a hockey setting. It's such a special feeling. I love stepping out there, and making a good play and hearing people cheer for all of us, and when our team scores a goal, everyone gets excited, and I feel happy for the guys too. A lot of them they haven't been able to play for a while either, and without fans too, it's not the same game, but having them back there, it's making me more excited than ever, and I'm just ready to feel that energy back when we step out onto the ice.
Well, game at 11 a.m. on Saturday. What's the day looking like tomorrow in terms of just the preparation, getting ready for Saturday's game?
So tomorrow I'm going to be waking up early, 7 a.m., go do some yoga and stretching with the guys, maybe head on for a little bit of a skate after that, just a light skate. We have practice later that day. Just get loosened out, make sure that we're ready to go. Me and a couple of guys had a good workout after practice today, so we got to make sure we're all right, all good and ready to go for Saturday especially. And I'm going to go there tomorrow and going to practice at 2:45 or so. So going to make sure I work hard there, and we're going to try to polish up and cover all the kind of cracks that we got out there, and just kind of smoothing up everything, smoothing out the edges that we may have on the plays. But you know what? I'm not worried for our games. We have a good team, and I'm excited to see these guys out there, and I'm excited to see what team we really are. And it's I think tomorrow's going to be an awesome day. It's going to be so positive, and everyone's just going to be ready to play and work hard for each other.
Well, it's going to be great for you to finally get on that ice for a game. First time since last season, if we can even call it a season last year, but since last year when you guys were playing games. Can't wait to be there on Saturday to cover it along with the rest of our production crew coming to that game to broadcast that Pilot Mound Hockey Academy U17 prep versus the Rink Hockey Academy U16 game. Maddox, best of luck to you and your team. Like I've said before, going into that game on Saturday, and I can't wait to see the product you guys put on ice. Take care, man.
Thank you, Graeme. Thanks for having me again. It's always great to be out here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the rink. So take care as well.
Yeah, you take care, and if you're doing some big things this season, we'll be sure to have you back on the show, and I'm sure we'll have you back up in the booth at some point to do some color commentating this year. It's the color commentator, second year, Pilot Mound Hockey Academy U17 prep defenseman Maddox Derewianka. He wears number 16, joining me on tonight's edition of Coffee with Graeme. After this final commercial break, I'll be back without Maddox for some final words here on Coffee with Graeme. You're watching this edition of Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Stick with me after this commercial break.
Welcome to Pilot Mound Hockey Academy, your world-class academic and hockey training facility created to maximize each student's athletic and academic potential. Blackjack Stewart Arena, home of the Buffalo, is inside the 46,000 square foot complex, as well as a curling rink and other facilities. The students have a unique combination of successful, well-rounded education at Pilot Mound Collegiate Institute and the professional hockey training in an encouraging community. The years of experience of on-ice coaching propel our students to the next level, both mentally and physically, in a professional environment.
Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme here on ASTV Productions, number 16, second-year defenseman in Pilot Mound's U17 Mill Prep program. Maddox Derewianka joined me second on tonight's edition of Coffee with Graeme. Of course, Chad Foster, head coach of the Mountain Mustangs in the Zone 4 High School Hockey League, also joined me earlier in the show. I want to thank both Chad and Maddox for coming on and being the guests in tonight's episode. I also want to thank you, the viewer, for taking the time out of your Thursday night and checking this out, this edition of Coffee with Graeme out here on ASTV, as well as our official sponsors of Coffee with Graeme. Shout out to Fabricland Winkler, Evolve Green, AETi, and Murray Chrysler for sponsoring tonight's edition of the show. Before I let you guys go, before I let you guys know when the next edition of Coffee with Graeme is, since we do cover Pilot Mound Hockey Academy quite a bit here on the network, since we're partnered with them, I think it's only right to tell you all when their games are going to be played this weekend. So they put out a tweet a day ago, and for the first time in Pilot Mound Hockey Academy's history, we're going to see all three Pilot Mound Hockey Academy teams in action. Talking about the male U17 program first, of course, on Saturday, we got the U17s going up against Rink Hockey Academy, their U16 program, at 11 a.m. You can catch that game on ASTV Productions all over our network, on our website at astvproductions.com, on our Facebook at ASTV Productions, on our Twitter at Amateur Sports TV, and some other places as well. And ASTV will only be covering one game this weekend from Pilot Mound. as of right now. But in terms of when the male U17 program will be in action next this weekend, they'll be in action the very next day at the Brinks home rink at 3:30 to take them on in that second game of that back-to-back this weekend. Then going into the male U15 program, their action this weekend starts on Friday. They go up against the Yellowhead Chiefs at 5:15 p.m. on Friday. Then on Saturday, they got another game as well against the Interlake Lightning. And then on Sunday, they got two games, one at 11:15 a.m. against the Central Plains Capitals, and then another one to finish off their weekend against the Southwest Cougars. And if you guys didn't catch that fantastic game that was broadcasted last Sunday, or this past Sunday on ASTV Productions, that game against the U15s in Southwest ended up going into overtime, and Pilot Mound's U15s were actually up 2-0 after the first period in that one. So a lot of improvement from that program after their first two games against the Rink Hockey Academy, where they got blown out in both of them. To see them come through, even though it was a loss 4-3 in overtime, was inspiring to see that this program can play, and it's going to be exciting for everyone there to check them out against the Southwest Cougars in a rematch. Of course, the location of those games on Friday and Sunday will be in Surrey, Manitoba, and on Saturday we'll see that action against Interlake in Wawanesa. Moving into the U18s, final team to announce here for Pilot Mound this weekend. They'll be in Stride Place in Portage La Prairie, Manitoba, all weekend long, as they'll be starting off their weekend tomorrow at 3:45 p.m. taking on the Vancouver Seals. Then on Saturday, they'll be taking on the MFHL's own Winnipeg Ice at 8 a.m., so that's an early one. And then they have another game on Saturday against another MFHL team, the Pembina Valley Hawks. And then on Sunday, they wrap up their weekend against the Central Plains Capitals. So that team, the U18s, have already had a chance to play two of those teams, Pembina Valley and Central Plains, both of those being very close games. Pilot Mound tying Pembina Valley on September the 12th on that Sunday, and the first game that ASTV broadcasted this year 2-2, when they dropped a game this past weekend on Saturday against Central Plains 4-3. So yeah, should be a great weekend of action for Pilot Mound Hockey Academy. For everyone that's going to be watching those games, it should be exciting for you all. Going to be some great hockey this weekend. And for everyone that's going to watch the game on Saturday on ASTV, should be exciting for you guys to see the game from home or wherever you guys are going to be at. But yeah, that's going to do it for tonight's edition of Coffee with Graeme. You can catch the next edition of Coffee with Graeme next week on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time on our network, right now on Facebook at ASTV Productions, and on our website, maybe on Twitter if we go live. But we shall see. Might be a bit later on in the day, depending on what happens with technical difficulties and scheduling, and you know how the whole thing goes. But until next week on Tuesday, folks, I'll see you then. Graeme Forsyth, host of Coffee with Graeme, signing off now. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a wonderful Friday. Tomorrow, of course, after that means it's the weekend. Have a wonderful weekend as well. And of course, stay safe, everyone. See you next Tuesday. Peace out.